Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Garima Srivastava, a counseling psychologist. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about COVID-19 and anxiety. So, coronavirus and subsequent lockdown has had a far-reaching impact on our mental health. Many of us are experiencing a lot of symptoms, very far-ranging symptoms. Some of us feel low, sad, anxious, stressed, apprehensive, overwhelmed, uncertain, scared, fearful, petrified also. So we may not be experiencing all of these, but we may experience some of these some of the times. And there are obviously people who have had a history of some kind of a psychological issue in the past. They may have more profound range of symptoms. So, in this video, I would like to talk to you about some ways in which you can identify and manage some of these negative feelings and anxieties that you may feel on and off. The word of caution here is that these techniques are not to be taken as a substitute to psychotherapy or psychiatric intervention. So, if you've been feeling low for a longer period of time or feeling anxious, the intensity of the anxiety is something that you've not felt before, or if you're experiencing cluster of symptoms for a prolonged period of time, then you of course need to seek psychiatric help. Some of the reasons that can be attributed to this kind of stress, anxiety, fear could be owing to the lockdown. We are in unusual times and you could be uncertain and worried for this particular situation. So it could be with regard to the virus, infection, when would the lockdown be lifted, when would life be normal again, fear and worry for our parents or family members. And then it probably also has a bearing on other aspects of your life. So your work life, you're managing multiple responsibilities altogether that you're not used to. You may have some financial concern. As students, you may be very worried for your future and what it may hold. So, whatever the reason might be, if you're feeling low and anxious and worried, in a generic term, stressed, then I'm going to mention here 6 ways by which you can help yourself to an extent. So let's get started with the techniques. The first technique that I would wish to talk to you about is acknowledgement of your feelings. If you're able to acknowledge how you're feeling, if you're able to label how you're feeling, there is a greater chance that you're going to take notice of whatever it is that you're experiencing and do something about it. So, if you are feeling uncomfortable, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling nervous, anxious, it's all right to take a moment and think about it, label it, and say it out. Like you could tell yourself that, yes, I think I am feeling upset right now, I am feeling anxious right now, and try and view it in a context and try and see why you're feeling like that. So, acknowledgement is the first step to doing anything about your anxiety. The second thing is be more mindful of your breathing and use distraction as a strategy. I'm going to break it down further. So, being mindful of your breathing is going to allow you to focus on here and now. So, when you're feeling anxious, you could just focus on your breaths and breathe in and breathe out and just wholly and solely focus on your breathing pattern. It allows you to shift your focus from whatever it is that you're thinking about and feeling at that moment and calms you, not just psychologically but also physiologically, because anxiety is manifested physiologically, right? So this is a great way to redirect your thought to your breathing pattern and feel more calm. Along with this, once you get a hang of this, you could also start focusing on some tangible things in your room. So, what are the things which are there? Also, there's a wooden chair. It looks like this. You could touch something and you could be like, also, I have like this really fluffy blanket next to me. You have to redirect your thought to things which are around you, which are tangible, so that whatever you are experiencing in that moment feels more real rather than drifting to something which you're only apprehensive of and which may or may not happen, right? So, the first part of this technique is being more mindful of your breathing. So you could actually include some deep breathing exercises. I'm going to link a few below, like a beginner's guide to deep breathing and mindful meditation, which helps a great deal with anxiety. The second step within the same technique is distraction. So, distraction is nothing but trying to take your mind off whatever it is that you're thinking about to something else. So, the principle behind distraction is that you will not be able to focus on two things at the same time equally. So, good ways of distraction are, of course, with deep breathing, listening to some music. You could do just backward counting. You could call up a friend. You could write your thought. Just writing about whatever it is you're feeling is a great way to distract. In fact, I would urge you to make your own list of things that can help you as distraction tools. So, since you are in a lockdown, I'm sure there are many things that you've been thinking about doing. So, you could actually write down 10 things that you will do every time you feel a little bit stressed. And they could range on a spectrum. They could be easy tasks, things like listening to music or your favorite podcast or calling up your friend, to something which requires a more rigorous effort like gardening or exercising or cooking. So, depending on how anxious you're feeling and how debilitated you are at that point, you can choose something that distracts you. So, breathing with a list of things that you can do every time you're anxious. The third thing is by this exercise, which is known as the sphere of influence activity. If you have seen my self care video, you would know what I'm talking about. So, this sphere of influence activity talks about you listing down everything that is in your control and everything that isn't. For example, the list of things or the things that I can think of which are in my control are maintaining my own personal hygiene, maintaining social distance, connecting with friends and family to the best extent possible, having a set daily routine, exercising, checking updates once in a while, reading a few pages of a book, writing letters to friends I haven't met in a long time, even stocking up groceries to whatever extent possible. But things that are not in my control or your control or anybody's control are things like, when will this lockdown be lifted? Repeatedly asking each other, checking news is not going to really change the status of whatever is going to happen. So, the lockdown, the virus, the medication, how many people are contracting it, what are the policies that your organization is following or not following. So, if you focus on the things that you cannot control, of course, it is going to increase your worry and apprehension, because the resources that you have to manage your stress are obviously not sufficient. So, it's better to focus on what you can control. It will help you feel more in control and more certain of the things that you can manage. So, I have this up on the screen. You would have seen this is how you can make a list, and I would urge you to do this. You could pause the video and do it now or do it after this. So every time you're feeling anxious, write down all the things that are in your control and that you're doing well with. It would help you feel more secure and more safe. So the fourth thing that I want you to focus on is, how are you going to refute your negative thoughts? It's very normal for us to keep having these automatic thoughts or inner dialogues that make us anxious. So instead of just trying to push them away, a better way would be to devise a way of dealing with your negative thoughts. So this is what you can do. It's known as the ABCDE technique. A means you should pay attention to your inner dialogue or the negative thought. So suppose your negative thought is, this is never going to get over, or what if my family gets infected, or I think my career is gone. Pay attention to that thought. So let's stick to this thought. A is acknowledge or pay attention to that negative thought or inner dialogue that you're having. B means do not automatically give in to or believe the thought that you're having. So just because you're having that thought doesn't make it real. So try and observe that thought without becoming one with that thought. So instead of saying nothing is going to work out, or I'm sure one of us will contract COVID 19, a better way would be to observe that thought and not believe it. Like, okay, I'm having this thought, but I'm not sure if it's the right thought for me to have. See means challenging your thought. It means that you have to find enough evidence to believe that thought or reject that thought. So if you feel like my life is over just because I'm at home, you have to actually find evidence that will help you believe that your life is actually over. And if you feel like it's an over exaggeration, then you have to take the milder path or the middle path and try and understand what are the things which are difficult or what are the things which are good. Things like your safety, your health, your financial security, you being with your family and friends, you having the comfort of your home, and all of that. So C is not just challenging the thought, but also trying to find the bigger picture or the context in which the thought is existing and trying to understand that by broadening your focus. D stands for discount. So acknowledge the thought that you're having and try and let it go. If you're having this thought that I'm scared for my family members, okay, acknowledge it. Don't feel guilty about having that thought. Thought is coming from some concern. It's coming because you're watching the news. It's coming because you're hearing a lot of negative things. So there is a basis to it. Acknowledge it, but at the same time, after you accept it, let it go. You have to release it and just say that this is not a helpful thought, it's not a kind thought, it's not going to help me. I'm doing everything. Remember, drawing evidence, you have enough evidence that you're doing everything in your sphere of control. So you have to let go of that thought. And finally, E means exploring alternate options. Now, just refuting the thought or something that's making you anxious is not the only thing that will help you. What's also important is that what is it that you want to do instead? So instead of feeling like my life is over and or I cannot take it anymore, this will drive me up the wall. After doing the first four steps, the next thing that you can do actually is to find alternate ways in which you will feel more engaged and meaningful and connected. So for you, if social connections make more sense, then have a quarantine routine with a friend where you can work out together, or try and up your skills by enrolling in an online activity. Anything which is going to help you let go of that thought but also feel empowered is extremely important. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about is having a quarantine routine. So I think I've talked enough in my channel so far on having a routine, and there is a reason for it. There is enough research evidence that shows that if you're able to maintain a routine which comes as close as possible to your so-called normal life, it not only retains the normalcy, which is good for your mental health, but it also safeguards you against ruminating or thinking too much about something negative that might happen. So, apart from just having a routine, try and bring in a lot of other aspects into your life which may enhance your levels of well being. You could enroll yourself for certain programs or online courses. You could have a shared screen where you could work out with a friend. If your heart is going out to the less privileged, you could try and find means in which you can do something which is also socially productive. Try and find a way in which you make this time more meaningful. In fact, in the future, I am going to make a video very soon on how you can make the most of this time. And that would link directly to how to make the most of a quarantine routine. So these were quick 6 tips, which I'm just going to recap for you once again. The first way to manage your anxiety is to acknowledge and notice it so that you can do something about it. The second thing is pay more attention on your breathing pattern, to the here and now experience, and different ways in which you can distract yourself. And these distraction strategies can be very tailor-made for each and every person. The third thing, when you want to feel more empowered and less anxious, is to focus on the spheres of influence activity. So focus on everything that's in your control than those that are not in your control. The next thing that I want you to focus on is on the ABCDE technique, which talks in a very strategic way on how you can refute a negative thought that you've been having. And finally, you should have a lockdown routine which actually gives you a brighter picture of your life right now, in which you can incorporate some passion, some hobbies along with the ritualistic things that you're supposed to do. I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it useful. Please let me know what you thought about it. I'd really love it if you subscribe to the channel, because there's more content coming up. And also, I'm linking below the last few videos in which I've talked about mental health during this lockdown. Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe.